Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes for years?
Of course I do. Of course I do. See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president.
Tough week for Donald Trump. The former president just lost his battle to block the Democrats from accessing his tax returns. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the president will be turning them over anytime soon. Welcome into TYT's Overruled. I'm legal analyst Adrienne Lawrence. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia ruled on Tuesday that the House may access former President Donald Trump's tax returns. This decision, which was issued by a three-judge panel, upholds the ruling of a lower court last year. In the 28-page ruling, the Court of Appeals held that federal law authorizes the House Ways and Means Committee chairman to seek the president's tax returns, regardless of whether or not Trump is currently holding the office of presidency or not. The House sought the tax returns because it's studying a program that audits presidents. Now, Trump believed that it's beyond Congress's investigatory powers to do this, but in the opinion, the Court of Appeals summarized Trump's position. The Trump parties contend that the chairman's request is an unconstitutional exercise of Congress's investigative powers for two reasons. Because the request is motivated by the improper purpose of exposing the Trump party's private financial information, and because the request does not identify a valid legislative purpose. Despite these contentions, the appellate court disagreed, finding the House's endeavors to be a valid exercise of their authority. It explained this. Congress's authority to secure needed information is not enumerated in the Constitution. Regardless, it has long been held that the power of inquiry, with process to enforce it, is an essential and appropriate auxiliary to the legislative function. This power is broad and indispensable, but it is not without limits. Moreover, this three-judge panel, comprised of two GOP appointees and one Obama appointee, did not care whether the House chairman had political motivations. Really, didn't care. This is what they said. The chairman has identified a legitimate legislative purpose that it requires information to accomplish. At this stage, it is not our place to delve deeper than this. The mere fact that individual members of Congress may have political motivations as well as legislative ones is of no moment. Indeed, it is likely rare that an individual member of Congress would work for a legislative purpose without considering the political implications. Ultimately, it was an L for Trump. The House can have his tax returns, which will be provided directly by the Treasury Department. But this ruling doesn't necessarily mean that the House will get its hands on Trump's tax returns. As you may have imagined, Trump is committed to fighting the disclosure of his tax records. And that being the case, you can guarantee that the former president will be appealing his sentiments to the high court he stacked himself. That is the U.S. Supreme Court. Once the appellate court order drops, aka the mandate, the former president is expected to petition the justices of the U.S. Supreme Court for review. Now, it would take at least 4 justices to vote to hear his case in order for him to get some sense of relief. And this would allow, essentially, for the case to be delayed until 2023 at a minimum. And that's something Trump would likely prefer because he is hoping that in the midterms, the Republicans take the House. And there's a good chance that an inquiry into Trump's tax returns would get dropped altogether if that happened. Then again, there are a number of Republicans out there who are low-key Trump loathers, and they definitely would love to see him out of the race as it concerns 2024. So I wouldn't be surprised if Trump's tax returns make it into the public purview, so, hey, that this charlatan can be exposed for what he really is. But then again, we know Trump's minions wouldn't be miffed at all if they find out that their king is really a con artist. But you let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments below. Also hit that like and follow button. And thanks for watching.